When the spoilers dropped yesterday for Amazing Spider-Man 26, and the fact that they were killing off Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, rather than MJ, I knew there were going to be a lot of different reactions to this. The most common reaction was going to be, whatever. Who cares about Kamala Khan? Who cares about Miss Marvel? Another reaction, but not nearly as common as that one, was going to be the reaction that I had and a lot of viewers of the channel had that were like, this was supposed to piss us off? This is actually pretty good. I kind of want to buy Zeb Wells a beer now. You didn't do anything I would hate, and you killed off a character that was basically pointless within the Marvel Comics universe. And then there was going to be another reaction that was going to be much smaller, but much more amplified. People basically losing their minds because Marvel Comics killed off a Pakistani character during Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Like, the audacity, like, how could this happen? And there are some articles about it, like this one. Miss Marvel fans are angry with Marvel, believing the publisher may be exploiting sexist and racist stereotypes following the announcement the fan favorite hero will die in an upcoming issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Marvel has confirmed Kamala Khan will die in Amazing Spider-Man number 26, Fallen Friend, The Death of Miss Marvel number 1, a one-shot releasing in July of 2023, will continue the storyline and see characters throughout the Marvel Universe come together to mourn the loss of the young hero. See, it's not a pointless death, it's a pointless cash grab, which is basically the Marvel method these days. And quite honestly, it feels like they're treating Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, basically like every other character within the Marvel Comics universe. Every once in a while, you got to kill them off, right? But the reaction to this thing has absolutely been hilarious. And this video right here is dedicated to all the people out there losing their minds for absolutely no reason and spotting sexism and racism and all kinds of other isms where they are not there. This is what Tamala Khan has to say. A white male American comic book writer has killed off a brown female Muslim character in a white character-centered comic book for no real good reason outside of fridge trope. He killed Miss Marvel Kamala Khan to motivate Peter Parker Spider-Man. That is absolutely ridiculous. Killing Miss Marvel Kamala Khan could never actually motivate Peter Parker. They're not friends. They're not really even acquaintances. Yes, Marvel has tried to fit the two together every once in a while to get Kamala Khan over with the fans, but it's never taken. It's not like she's a mainstay character in his book, and he really cares that she died. Yeah, he's playing like it because he's a hero and he has to. Here's the real reason they killed off Miss Marvel Kamala Khan. It's not because they want to motivate Peter Parker Spider-Man in ASM 26. That's whatever. That's one of the dumbest conclusions I've ever heard in my life. Miss Marvel Kamala Khan in the MCU is the first mutant. She's an X-Men. In the Marvel comic book universe, she's Inhuman, and they don't want to have Inhumans in the MCU itself. So to get some character synergy, they need to kill the character off, return her body to Krakoa. She's going to be resurrected on Krakoa as a mutant, and now she will be a mutant in both the comic book universe and the MCU, obviously the MCU being more important. That is the reason that they're killing this character off. And yes, they do get the added benefit of a nice little cash grab, one-shot, Silent Sister, The Death of Miss Marvel, or whatever it's called. That's why they're doing it. So they can make her a mutant in comic books like she is in the MCU itself. It's not because they want to motivate Peter, because actually killing that character would never motivate Peter because he doesn't care about her. This is what Aiden, BLM, has to say. Killing off Miss Marvel, a Muslim girl, is both sexist and racist, as well as the fact she's dying in a title of a character she's unrelated to, and having played a very little in this storyline, and using it to further a white man's story is so fucking awful. I hope you get fired. Well, who are you hoping gets fired? Are you hoping Zeb Wells gets fired? Are you hoping John Romita Jr. gets fired? Are you hoping Nick Lowe, the group editor of Spider-Man, gets fired? Are you hoping C.B. Cebulski, the actual editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, gets fired? Can you be a little bit more specific? There's so many people you could be angry at here, but there really is no sexism or racism in this act itself whatsoever. Spider-Man has died. Captain America has died. Wolverine has died. Three mainstay Marvel characters way more popular than Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, that they've killed off and gone for a cash grab. They've done the same thing at DC Comics. Superman's died. Batman's died. Barry Allen has died. Hal Jordan has died. All these characters have died. I think Wonder Woman just died like 18 months ago. Those are all mainstay white heroes that got the exact same treatment that Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is getting. And we've got male heroes and female heroes in there that have died within the pages of Marvel and DC Comics itself. This is a trope that gets played over and over and over again. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's a Muslim character. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's a brown character. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's a female character. She's a hero in the Marvel Comics universe. They need a cash grab, and they need to resurrect her as a mutant. That's the only reason this has happened. And they've done this same exact thing to every other mainstay hero in both universes. They've even killed off Black Panther. She's getting treated like every other character in the goddamn 616. Absolutely ridiculous take by Aiden BLM. Next up, we've got Jamie Talks Nerdy Shite. So I've been angry for most of the day over the leak from number 26 of ASM because of the fridging of Miss Marvel. But this broke the camel's back, and now I'm furious. Where the fuck are her family, the champions, her friends? Why is Peter, Steve, and Ben there? They have no fucking connection to her. Well, I hate to say this one. I understand that Jamie Talks Nerdy Shite is being a little bit overboard as far as her reaction to this, but she does have a point. Why would Peter Parker care that Kamala Khan died? Why would Steve Rogers care? Why would Ben Grimm care? Why would any of the characters that are on the cover of Secret Sister, The Death of Miss Marvel or whatever, why would they even be there? There are no champions there. There's no family members there. There are no characters actually associated with Miss Marvel. Well, you want to know why that is? Jamie Talks Nerdy Shite. As someone who talks nerdy shite, you should know this. She's not associated with any popular characters, and they're trying to sell the goddamn book based on the cover. So what do? You throw a fucking Spider-Man on there. You got to throw some Fantastic Four on there. You got to throw a little bit of, Captain America on the cover so people might actually want to buy the comic book. Nobody's actually going to go to the comic book shop and see a picture of Kamala Khan, like, in a hospital bed surrounded by her family and the champions and be like, wow, I want to spend $10 on that. That thing looks great. They want to pretend Captain Marvel's a popular character. She's not a popular character. Kamala Khan never got over, and no character ever associated with Kamala Khan ever got over in comic books. That's why they're not on the cover. Because as you know, Marvel Comics are a business, and they're trying to cash in on this really stupid death that no one cares about. Finally, let's talk about My Mulody. And this is what they said. Them killing off Miss Marvel is just so fucking awful on so many layers, like proudly announcing this on Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, doing it in Amazing Spider-Man of all places, killing off a teen girl for shock value. The possibility of a power change? Wow. How do you mess up this badly? The looks like someone's new to comics crowd is pissing me off. Like, we know it happens in comics often. It's even happened to Kamala before, but this is like unbelievably serious levels of tackiness. Was there no one with the braid in the room when they pitched this? Well, that's a rhetorical question. It's Marvel Comics, so no, there was nobody with a braid in there when they pitched it. There's just somebody saying, yes, let's do that. It was probably smart. This is the most anyone's talked about Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, probably since the character like debuted in comic books. Even when she had her TV show, no one was talking about the character. The only other time people were talking about Miss Marvel was when the Marvels trailer came out, and that was because of how bad it looked. And you know what's tacky? All the people talking about Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, like it's a big deal. Like anyone cares about it. Nobody ever thinks about Asian American Pacific Islander Month. The only people that I personally have ever met that ever gave two flying fucks about that month were in the military because they were hoping to get promoted, and they volunteered to like organize the buffet that they were going to have with different Asian and Pacific Islander foods on it. And they didn't care because it was Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. They cared because they wanted an EPR bullet and they were hoping to get promoted out of it. When's the last time that you have celebrated Asian American Pacific Islander Month? Do you get a cake for it? What do you do to celebrate it? No one does anything for it. Yes, there's like a podcast or two, and they released an issue of Marvel's Voices, and that's it. I guarantee you CB Cebulski, who actually lived in Asia, I believe, for quite some time, wasn't even thinking about this. I live in Asia, and I've never thought about it. No one here ever talks about it. Of course, there aren't a lot of Asian Americans actually in Asia, but you know what I'm saying? And using that as a reason to be upset about this is absolutely astroturf. It's not real outrage. It's not real hysteria. It's made up so they can go and yell at somebody because now they have a cause for 12 hours until they find their next cause for the next 12 hours or whatever. If Marvel truly wanted to do something tacky that really made no sense during AIPI Heritage Month, they would kill off Colossus. because he's actually the most popular Asian character in the history of Marvel Comics itself. I've talked about it here on the channel. Look where the guy is actually from. He's Asian, and he's easily the most popular character, not only in Marvel Comics, but DC Comics as well. Earlier, I did mention that Kamala Khan doesn't have an ongoing solo series, and they likely will launch one when she gets resurrected on Krakoa or whatever, under the watchful eye of Jordan D. White and the other dumbass writers in the X-Men office. But there hasn't been a good Kamala Khan Miss Marvel story in a very, very long time. I have an example right here. This comic book, this story about Kamala Khan Miss Marvel is so atrocious, so terrible, you won't believe it until you see it. You got to check this out right now. There's also a link in the video description.